Hi Aquarius, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you won't miss any further videos, and also make sure you turn on the notifications by clicking the little bell. I feel like I always forget to say that in the beginning of my videos, but yeah, that will notify you whenever I upload to this channel. So this is going to be the August reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign, so this applies to all of that. So I'm seeing the Three of Swords immediately with the Ace of Cups. So a lot of you could have been struggling with some type of heartache in the recent past, or still struggling with it right now, and you are moving into starting something new, like starting over emotionally. Some of you could have gotten a new offer from someone, or you're just really looking forward to a new emotional beginning. So that is good. That is positive. After heartache, finding the strength to build yourself back up and to reconnect with your heart space. I know people always try to make it seem like Aquarians are so heartless and they have no feelings, but Aquarians are actually very emotional, especially if they are emotionally invested into something. It's just that sometimes we, and I say we because I am an Aquarius sun sign and an Aquarius Mercury, so we have a tendency to sometimes not be in touch with how we feel right when we're feeling it. Like sometimes there's somewhat of a delay. So yeah, some of you could have been experiencing that heartache and you are feeling it, like it may have happened in the past and you're kind of feeling it now. You're feeling the full brunt of it, and now you are moving into this energy of trying to have a new emotional beginning, trying to build yourself up and start over. So with this Ace of Cups being here and the Hermit card, I feel like a lot of you are going inward in order to try to find this emotional new beginning. Like you're not seeking it outside of yourself. You are looking for this happiness and this emotional contentment, like healing this heartache or healing this whatever this pain was from the past. You're trying to heal it within yourself. Like you are not going outward looking for it. So that is good. The Hermit card is also the card of spiritually evolving by going inward, by putting yourself kind of in that state of solitude, so you can get very quiet, so you can hear your higher self, so you can hear your higher wisdom and your higher knowledge. So then I'm seeing the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So some of you are very much in your head, could be about the past situation, or just in general you're in your head and there is a need for you to get grounded. So let me pull cards for you now. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but my readings are for basically for love and spirituality, because that's what people tend to want the most guidance on. So that's what my reading is mostly focused on. So let me pull the three. And this will be for the past position. Ten of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So, and then the Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So I read Five of Wands as conflict. Sometimes it is a group of people working together, but in this case, I'm feeling a feeling of conflict. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this talks about long-term commitment. So because this is in like the first position of the past, I feel like in the past, like in the very beginning, could be the start of the summer, I'm hearing. Could be sometime in June or July. It's like but definitely in the past, you were involved in some type of long-term commitment, or just getting out of some type of long-term commitment, because following it is the Five of Pentacles. So this is talking about feeling left out in the cold. So something happened where you felt like you could build a long-term commitment, or you were focused on building a long-term commitment, and it resulted in you feeling left out in the cold. So someone could have exited a long-term commitment with you, like from you. You could have exited it and someone's feeling left out in the cold by you, but either way this long-term commitment got cut short. I feel like it didn't fully progress and reach the commitment. I feel like this was something that you were kind of projecting mentally, meaning that's something that you were trying to manifest, that you wanted to happen, and something could have just took a wrong turn. With the Five of Wands being here, like I said, oh yeah, and the Lover's card being here in the reverse, I do see that as conflict. So something that you had a very strong emotional pull towards, like a very strong bond that was like severed or broken due to conflict. Could have been outside interference with this Five of Wands, like people kind of butting in and putting their 2 cents in, but it's just a lot of conflict. This could also be internal conflict, like could be self-sabotage as well, because sometimes like when we're in a connection this strong, we can sabotage it with our internal conflict, or us not thinking we deserve it, or us being paranoid, things of that nature. So I feel like all of that energy kind of cut this connection short, and it did not get to progress and grow to its full capacity. And then it just ended with one of you or both of you feeling left out in the cold. And then with the 8 of Pentacles being here, this talks about not putting in any work or energy or effort. So that's sad. It's not a very nice past energy, Aquarius. So let's see here. Let's see what's going on in the present. Yeah, I'm getting like a sadness with that energy weighing kind of heavily here. I did just hear intuitively that there is still hope, that you're still like holding on to hope of still building this 10 of Pentacles life, like still building this long-term commitment. Like you see in the picture, he has like family around him, like building this empire, like being like wealthy, but then also having like the love and companionship around you along with the money, like feeling like accomplished in a third dimensional sense, meaning like feeling accomplished when it comes to like the material world, but also feeling accomplished when it comes to like love and family. Like you want to have it all, like you want to have that ideal life. And I feel like some of you are still holding out to hope, and that could be a good thing. Like you're doing the right thing by still being positive and still holding on to that hope, because remember that God, the higher power, has the last say, has the last judgment call on these sort of things. So just because things don't look like they could be turning around, they very well could turn around for the positive, and I have a feeling that they are going to, that things are going to turn around. So let's see for the present position here. Tower card. Sheesh. Oh, Aquarius, no. The 3 of Swords. Oh my goodness. The Fool card. Okay. So this reading is, we're gonna turn this positive though. We are going to find a way to turn this positive. So the Tower card, the 3 of Swords, and the Fool card. So the 3 of Swords is in the heart of the reading. So a lot of you are dealing with very intense emotional pain. The Tower card being here, it's just basically the Tower card is about the divine or God stepping in and striking something down that pretty much was built on a faulty foundation, was built on something that was not going to last. There was something about this foundation that it just wasn't, things were not going to grow and prosper, because it was something like the foundation, like the relationship could have been built on a foundation of a lie, or it could have just been, if it wasn't even anything that deceitful, it could have been like your relationship or your connection, whatever this was, built on a foundation of 2 people who were not solid within themselves, so therefore they could not have a solid relationship or foundation. And usually the Tower card comes in when one or both people are not surrendering. So like there being signs that you need to exit, there being signs that you need to move away from the connection, and you not doing that. So then the divine has to step in and strike this tower down, because the divine wants you to be on your highest path and to have the best love possible and the best life possible. So even though it feels like it's unfair and it feels like it's so heartbreaking and it hurts, it's literally for your higher good, your highest good, and you just, it's hard to see that when it's happening because it's painful. Especially because Aquarius is a fixed sign, so we do have a problem with change. So the Tower card can be pretty traumatic because it's such like a shake-up, like it shakes us up at our core and causes us to have a drastic life change, like to change our path. And usually when we set our sights on a long-term commitment and it's in our heads, like we put our all into it and we want that, like we have already fixed our minds on it. So the Tower card can be devastating because it causes us to kind of like erase that image, like that commitment, that long-term happiness that we had in our head, and to change course. So that's why it can be so painful, you know? Okay, sorry if the angle changed. The camera keeps overheating and dying. I feel like I have to announce that in every single video. So back to the reading. Like I was saying before, the Tower card is it's a negative thing because it forces us out of situations that we were comfortable in or that we were holding on to. So it's negative because of the feeling, but it's positive because of the outcome, because it's something that we needed to let go of anyway. The Three of Swords, the card of pain and heartache, and unfortunately it's in the center of the reading, so this is what you are feeling the heaviest and the strongest right now. All I can say about the Three of Swords is that it takes time to allow this to heal, but if we heal in the right way, meaning that we take our lessons that we've learned through the heartache and we carry them with us into the future, and we kind of learn to forgive and let go and release that weight off of our heart, then that means that we heal properly, and then we can move forward into something better and more prosperous without taking that heartache with us and without it weighing us down. Because the Fool card being here in reverse, this talks about not really trusting in the process, having a hard time kind of moving forward, having like I'm hearing like a spiritual crisis, and that's what this energy is. Like you're kind of in like a spiritual crisis, trying to overcome this energy, trying to elevate and get past this the best way you know how. And as an Aquarius, it's in your nature, well, our nature, because I'm an Aquarius, it's in our nature to see things from a higher perspective, to see things from a spiritual level. And I feel like some of you could have a hard time doing that right now, but I'm hearing to just be patient, because with time it's going to reveal itself of why this had to happen to you, and something better is going to enter your life. And it's going to, like, when that better situation enters your life and when you step into this new cycle, you're going to realize why you had to go through everything you had to go through in that past cycle, because there were extremely important spiritual lessons that you had to learn, that you are going to be needing forward on your journey. So right now you're kind of in this space of just not seeing the higher lesson, kind of not trusting the universe, kind of being like, why did this have to happen? Just feeling kind of like played, kind of foolish, not seeing the higher lesson of what went down. But you are going to see it with time. So the Death card at the top of, at the bottom of the deck. So this is a spiritual rebirth that was very much needed. Some of you are about to be catapulted into a new cycle of your life that's going to be extremely significant, and the lessons that you learned in this cycle are like, they're mandatory for what you're about to step into. Like whatever you were just in, that's like high school, and you're about to step into college and be tested, or use what you learned in high school in order to pass your classes in college. Like that's the metaphor that I'm getting. So the Death card being here, it's about spiritual rebirth. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the Strength card being here, and the Four of Wands in reverse. I do identify the Four of Wands card as the Twin Flame card. So some of you could have been dealing with the Twin Flame, or someone who you think is your twin flame, and this situation is causing you a lot of strength to move forward and get over. The spiritual death is not one that's easy. That's why it's a death. Death is not easy, and the rebirth process is not easy either. It comes with labor pains to rebirth yourself. So some of you are feeling very stuck because of this spiritual process, this spiritual death and rebirth, but you are gaining enlightenment through this process, even if you do not see it. So I feel like that is it. I feel like that was a really short video for some reason. Let me clarify. I'm going to clarify the Fool card. Something's telling me to clarify this Fool card. Oh my goodness. Okay, the Hangman just wants to... Hello, Hangman. Just wants to keep making this appearance. So, yeah, a lot of you are definitely feeling that energy of feeling stuck. But through that being stuck, you are gaining spiritual enlightenment. for sure, for sure. Some of you also could have been dealing with the Pisces, or you could have like strong Pisces in your chart, because I associate the Hangman card with Pisces energy. Clarify this Fool card. The Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is your energy, the infamous Aquarius Queen of Swords energy, ready to cut out any and all bullshit. Some of you are feeling very defensive, again, because of what has taken place. So some of you are just ready to cut off anything and everything. Like the minute something seems out of place, you're ready to cut it off because of this past cycle. You may not have cut it off soon enough. So it's like you are in this energy. You're in this energy of just really using your mental right now. Like you're really in your mental space right now, because you could have been using your heart in that past cycle, and now you're like, I'm using my mental now, because you could feel like you were taken for a fool or taken advantage of. But be mindful, be careful of that. Like, don't get into your head to the point where you become paranoid. That's what I'm hearing, because yes, it is in your nature to think things through logically and to make decisions based off logic, but because of this past cycle, you could now be operating from a place of like fear and paranoia rather than intuition. So it's important that you are able to distinguish between the two. Fear is going to be extremely loud and kind of yell at you and kind of make you feel paranoid and make you feel defensive, and that's not necessarily your intuition. Your intuition is more like kind of quiet. It kind of like whispers to you, and that's why sometimes you need to get really quiet and meditate and center yourself in order for you to hear your intuition. So I'm saying that it's important that you don't confuse your fear with your intuition because of this cycle that you have been in. So I'm going to pull 3 for the future outcome, and then we are going to look at those 3 in the extended version of this video. So let's see. Future outcome for Aquarius. The Empress. Yes. Good card. Good energy. Ace of Wands. Yes. Positive, positive, positive future outcome. And the 10 of Swords. So, the Empress. That just looks like a positive card, doesn't it? So, the Empress talks about this maternal energy. Actually, it could mean several different things, but what I'm getting intuitively is maternal energy, kind of like stepping into your feminine energy, even if you are a male, still stepping into like that divine feminine energy and growing through this situation, like growing to become in touch with your feminine side, in touch with your heart space, manifesting from your feminine energy. So I'm gonna get more into it in the extended. The Ace of Wands, again, this is a card about manifestation, about the universe kind of granting you this opportunity to take this energy and create something magnificent with it. So again, I'm getting a lot of manifestation energy from those 2 cards. And then the 10 of Swords, and that may look like a very harsh, brutal card, but it is a 10, so that means that it is about an ending. So once you get here, that means that you can't really go any lower. So that could be a good thing, you know. That means you've hit rock bottom, so now you can only go up from there. So I'm going to get into those in the extended version of this video, and I hope that this was helpful to you, and I will see you guys on Vimeo. Bye.